Thank you so much, Greg, and welcome everyone to Washington, D.C. and AEA's 55th Annual Convention and Trade Show. I don't know about all of you, but doesn't it kind of tug at your heartstrings when you see these different countries displayed up here and realize that AEA represents 44 countries around the globe? It's a very small world when you look at it in that light. So thank you to those members that carried their country's flags with pride to the stage. And did Linda Adams blow the national anthem out of the park or what? Throughout this week, you're going to hear and see a lot of the convention theme, as you've heard this morning. Take pride, take ownership, and take back our industry. Now, I'm going to be the first to tell you that I am not an economist. I'm not a professional aviation forecaster. I'm not a fortune teller, and I definitely don't believe in reading tea leaves. I just believe that how we, as the general aviation industry, move forward from here is up to us, to each one of us sitting here this morning and on the floors of the convention halls the rest of the week. There are signs that the economy is improving, and of course that's good news. But even so, there are still many challenges each and every one of us face for the general aviation industry to overcome. Rising fuel prices, sluggish new aircraft production, your customers who are still protecting their wallets, and recently, once again, the threat of user fees in President Obama's 2012 budget proposal. But even with those hurdles, I think it's important for each of us to remember what may happen on Wall Street cannot define us. And what happens in the capitals of each of your nations should not render you powerless. And what the general media continues to say and portray as a negative light on our industry should not paralyze any of us. It is time for each and every one of us to stop apologizing for who we are and what we do and take back our industry. By no means, thank you.
Aviation is the brand of choice for pilots who want innovative, easy-to-use avionics. And the new IFD 540 GPS Navcom sets a new standard for simplicity in communication and LPV navigation. As a slide-in replacement for existing 530 series navigators, and with a highly intuitive touchscreen control, the IFD 540 makes it much easier to access the information you want when you want it, reducing head-down time and making flying more enjoyable. Finally, you have a choice, and the choice is easy. Aviation.
With those words, by no means am I saying that the last 3 years have not been agonizing for this industry and for individual businesses. The AEA, we've tightened our own belt. We've done, we've made do with less. We've seen many longtime AEA members close their doors. And that's never a good sign, never a good thing to see. We've seen companies of all sizes stumble or merge and unfortunately go away. Most all of us have seen less profit and more uncertainty. Worst of all, it seems like our industry has lost our appetite for taking a risk. And risk, something the aviation industry was founded on more than 100 years ago when Orville and Wilbur took to the sands of Kitty Hawk. But now we're all a little hesitant, a little afraid to take a risk. But we have to remember risk is a good thing. Risk is probably what got each and every one of us here this week. Risk is what got you your first job, your home, your kids. And knowing this audience the way I think I do, it probably got you your first black eye, your first beer, and yes, that is a reference for the Australians in the crowd, and most likely your first kiss. But have we all gotten so caught up in the hand-wringing that we have forgotten the simple thrill of taking a risk? Tell that to the 27 companies that are about to take the stage in a few moments to introduce to us new technologies for you all to go out and sell and help stimulate our industry and all of our nation's economies. Tell that to our military men and women who are so proudly serving all of our countries. Tell that to our keynote speaker who will be taking the stage in the moment to talk about the risk he took flying the President of the United States on 9/11. We all work in the aviation industry. Heck, we know what risk is. It's time to take it back. And I can vouch for a group of individuals who over the last 9 months have definitely taken a risk. And that group is the members of the AEA Strategic Outlook Committee. These individuals agreed to sit down with me over a string of multi-day meetings since last June to examine the future of not only the avionics industry, but our association model as well, and identify game changers that will either enhance or impede all of us doing business in the next 5 to 10 years. So I would like to recognize these individuals who volunteered countless hours and days to what at times, quite frankly, was pretty intense debate over the challenges all of us face. So I'd like to ask those individuals to stand and be recognized, and I would like to ask the audience to hold their applause for a moment. But will members of the Strategic Outlook Committee please stand for a moment? Now, ladies and gentlemen, you talk about risk takers. These people are competitors, both in the manufacturing arena and in the repair station arena, but they all agreed to check their egos at the door and collectively sit down together and discuss those issues that all of us face and those challenges that we're all working to overcome. So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the AEA membership and the AEA Board of Directors, to the Strategic Outlook Committee, thank you for your time. And boy, the issues that we discussed, like market paradigm shifts, what the future of the manufacturer and dealer network would look like and will look like, and how AEA as an organization can work to protect and promote these traditional channels of business. We discussed the challenges of new product certifications, hindering the introduction of new technologies as manufacturers sat idly by waiting and waiting for certifications, costing them thousands of dollars in delays. We talked about the decrease in the ability to obtain field approvals, while at the same time we're dealing with a regulatory system mentality that will not completely loosen the reins on a delegate's given authority. The committee is examining parts obsolescence issues, a given in the consumer electronics industry, but in the avionics industry where our products are expected to last 10, 15, 20 or more years with parts available at all times. And as the committee soon came to realize after much conversation, is maybe not such a reality any longer in this market today.
Welcome to the Aero-News Network, the aviation world's most comprehensive news and information resource. Real-time 24/7 online audio and video programming, where aviation has been getting updated for over a decade. Distributing over 11,000 stories, features, audio, and video programs every year. Only ANN covers aviation and aerospace with this much depth, insight, and expertise. Check us out on the web at aero-news.net.
The Strategic Outlook Committee came up with specific recommendations for the AEA Board of Directors, and the board in the next several weeks will be reacting to these recommendations and implementing them. And all of you, the AEA membership, will be the first to know because we want your input and your participation. We will be asking the AEA membership to take ownership. Because if we all don't lead, no one else will. From manufacturers to distributors to repair stations to DERs, we all must seize the opportunity to take pride in what we do. This international organization may be meeting here this week in the capital of the United States of America, but our message reaches far beyond the Beltway. We are an international association representing thousands of individuals with a common message I'm going to ask each and every one of you to focus on this week and next. Take pride and take ownership. and let's take back our industry. Thank you. It's my privilege to have you here. Thank you.
Aero-TV's live coverage of the 55th Annual AEA International Convention and Trade Show is brought to you in part by the following sponsors.